Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to another show of Your First Jungle Clear. We have a full lineup tonight. We have 5 junglers here ready to be helped. Super excited about this one here. We got Elos from Gold, 3, Gold, a Kayn, Warwick game, Plat for Zach, Silver for Warwick, and a Diamond for Nunu. Definitely love the Nunu games. Obviously, I made my Nunu guide. Warwick, obviously a very popular champ, but always good to review those. So purpose of this show is to perfect the early game of your jungling. Early game is super important for you as a jungler. The longer the game goes on, the more out of control it sort of is. I mean, obviously if you're playing a scaling jungler, it's a little bit more, but early game, good impact. We can shut down the enemy jungler, we can take those early drags and Rift Heralds. Alright, so we're going to get our first guest in a second. He is a returning guest. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me all good, by the way. Also, the way this works is I'll be very focused on the guests that I have up with me, but if you guys have any questions in the chat, just ask them. I'll answer them in between the reviews, but I also will try and answer questions as the reviews go on. Dusty Void, you have a question? Ask away. Excellent. Audio's good. Right, so I'll drag our first guest in a moment. If you want to ask your question, Dusty Void. Otherwise, I'll drag him in. Gold 3 Kayn. How can I get coached? Should I power something? So I don't. I do have a private training program that I have limited spots in. I open it up once every couple of weeks. You'll have to sign up to the waitlist there on my website, nathanmott.gg/soltu. You can read all the information you want over there, but that's pretty much the only paid coaching that I do. Otherwise, it's pretty much free if you come on Your First Jungle Clear. And other than that, I might bring the review request back eventually. I am focused at the moment currently on my Graves and Hecarim guide, so I'm sort of trying to make 2 guides at once right now because Graves is actually permabanned in solo queue. I get it probably about 1 in every like 4 or 5 games, so it's making that guide very difficult to get content for that. It sort of just tests things, like I'm testing lethality, I'm testing Black Cleaver, phase rush, so that's actually becoming pretty difficult. So don't be surprised if the Hecarim guide comes out before my Graves guide. Thanks for the well wishes, Paul. Lucas says, hey there, how can I be a guest? Okay, Lucas, so to be a guest on the show, you'll need to join my Discord server. There's a link up above there, nathanmott.gg/discord. About 2 hours or so before the show, I ask who wants to come on the show. It's pretty much open free to anyone, whoever's first in, best dressed, basically. So have a game ready to go, and then I will just add you as a guest. But we have a full lineup tonight, full 5 guests. Elo's ranging from Gold, Plat, Silver, and Diamond tonight. Philip says, is Graves difficult to play? Yes, but so I picked him up pretty quickly and I felt really good on him after like 15 games or so. There's like some tiny little mechanics and combos, especially the way you use Q and your W. There is a pretty big skill factor to it, but I think let's just say Graves is a very different champ to most champs, in terms of the way he is mechanically played, because he's not like a range champion, but he's not a melee champion, but like he is a melee champion away to get max damage off with his shotguns. So mechanically playing him, I'll talk about it in my guide. I'll go really in depth into that, but yeah, it's a bit hard to explain on just the stream here without showing actual gameplay. So Johnson says, hey Nathan, your guides are the most helpful I've seen on YouTube. Great to hear, John. That's my purpose. All my guides, I try and make them super practical, so then you can implement the stuff in your own games and get results. And we've had really good results from people from the Olaf guide, which is awesome to see in the comments. Like literally just like silver to gold, just huge plummets in ranks, which is awesome to see. Dusty Void says, is Twitch Jungle viable in low plat? Like, can you climb with him if you have his mechanics down? Definitely. I think you can climb with any champion. Twitch is very cheesy pick, but he's very punishing. If you don't get that level 2 gank off, I find that he's very easy to shut down, because I mean, unless it's very obvious where a Twitch. If I'm playing against a Twitch, he does that level 2 gank. I know which side of the map he's going to be going on after that, so I can play accordingly, ping my laners. It's really easy to track him. I actually have a video on my channel about how to track a Twitch that I made way back. Literally just track him from beginning to end, and he can't do anything. But if you're good enough on Twitch, you pull that level 2 gank off. I think he's definitely very good. Cheesy pick, but I don't recommend Twitch because he doesn't teach you proper jungle fundamentals. Emergency Financer says, I want to thank you for your OLF guide. Helped a ton. Awesome to hear. Warwick in high elo. I don't see many around. I think that Warwick definitely has I think he's very good for sort of like beginner sort of players, but I don't personally enjoy Warwick in high elo. Have you ever played on NA server? If so, how did you do? I played on NA server back in season 2 so I'm from Australia. So we didn't have OS servers back in like season 2, so I had to play like 200 ping over on NA, and I didn't really play ranked. I didn't play league that much, but I think the highest I got was like gold on NA. But again, that was how long ago now? It's 8 years ago, so a long time ago. All right, so let's drag our first guest in here. We have a gold 3 Kayn. All right, Steamy Merlin, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yeah, I can.
Excellent. All right, welcome back to the show, Josh. I'm going to get your game up on your screen in just a moment. Let me know when you can see it on the stream all good.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it on YouTube.
Excellent. All right, so when did you come on? Was it 2 weeks ago or last week?
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. All right, how are we going? How's our Kayn been going since then, since our last review?
I played a tiny bit on my main, but I've just been more casually playing since finals and stuff, finishing up school.
Got it. So yeah, so the finals are like this time because obviously Australia's a lot different to you guys. So like, that's all done now.
We got at the end of this week.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a game on your Smurf account, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're Smurf against the same elos, you're around the same elo, so you're gold 3. What's your main?
Gold 2.
Okay, so they're pretty close. I wouldn't really call it a Smurf,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty much just an alt.
Alright, so let's take a look at your runes first here. So it looks like you're going red Kayn this game, yeah? Conqueror?
Yeah.
Let me just fix up the chat here, it's very big. Alright, so, Presence of Mind, okay, over Triumph. What do you think about this?
I was kind of experimenting with it. I really don't like it on red Kayn, but I figured I'd try it out because I've been playing with it on blue, so...
Okay, yeah, I actually like Presence of Mind, I'll be honest, especially champs like Kayn. I've actually been doing it on Hecarim, so a little teaser to my Hecarim guide. I feel like, so there's like a period of the game where you have serious mana issues, and I feel like that's like from levels like 5 to like 9, and Presence of Mind just like solves that problem for you. So like, I don't mind it. What have you found Presence of Mind so far? Do you feel like you just have zero mana issues?
I've just had well, normally I do have some mana issues. I've just had some issues because I'm used to like Presence of Mind and, well, no, not Presence of Mind, Triumph, and like the life you get from that.
The skirmishing, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just been difficult to switch, but I've been testing it out. It works some games, other games I feel like I play too aggressive for it, so.
Alright, so you're going Sudden Impact and Revenant Hunter. What other options do you go in the secondary tree here? Have you tried Magical Footwear Cosmic Insight?
I've tried a little bit, but I haven't taken it too much. Sometimes I take like double healing on the red side, but even that I like the Sudden Impact just for that little bit of extra damage.
And you go double AD armor here. You don't like taking attack speed?
I occasionally go to attack speed. I kind of like going to attack speed on Rosts, just kind of helping weave some autos.
Yep, and Conqueror stacks.
Yeah.
Yes.
This game I didn't take it.
Yes, I think double AD is definitely the go-to for blue Kayn, but red Kayn, I mean, so you got to sort of think how the fight's going to go this game. So you're against a Skarner, you're against a Darius. Corki, Zillion, and Twitch can kite you pretty well, right? So, like, I guess double AD, I think, sort of makes sense here. It's sort of like, well, I can deal with Skarner and Darius because I'm red Kayn, but I can also have double adaptive for, like, to try and one-shot potentially the Twitch, Zillion, Corki. So, I think it's fine, to be honest. I just really like the attack speed for Kayn in terms of the jungle clear for red Kayn. Like, it definitely feels a little weaker when you're doing, you know, like the Gromp and the red and the blue buff, but not too big deal. I think either work. Alright, so red, we're doing Raptors, red, Krugs.
Yep.
So obviously objective for Kayn, we definitely want to be trying to get 6 ASAP. Do the crab right now.
Yeah.
Check the Raptors. Alright, I love this, Josh. This is good stuff. Alright, so what does this tell us about where Skarner is and what path he's done?
Tells me that he's just done, like, well, probably red, blue, Gromp, or something along those lines. And
Yep,
then
so
he's probably going to head topside.
Yep, so he hasn't showed at all on the map right now, so we don't have the exact information, but yeah, definitely tells us that, yeah, it looks like that he has definitely topside right now. I mean, in terms of, like, threat right now, I mean, Skarner's not going to be able to dive this Hecarim, right? Okay, so this is really good for you. You can just take these camps. Awesome. So one thing I always like to do, like, the fact that you know Skarner is here, just do some danger pings saying top. Just be like, hey, heck, he's top, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes laners don't listen to it most of the time, to be honest, but it's better than not doing anything, right? Because, I mean, laners just don't track junglers, and they don't know, like, where they are. You have the information, just tell your laners real quick.
Okay. That makes sense.
Alright, so back to full clear. Skarner did take your Raptors. Okay, so let's talk about this gank, Josh.
Yeah.
So this is a Kai'Sa Yuumi, right? And Yuumi lanes are not the greatest to gank for, and Kayn is incredibly ganking, incredibly weak ganking early, right? And your laners also have no CC. So, I mean, I guess, so the way I need to think about this is, okay, I can gank here, but is it worth it? What can I potentially lose here? And the thing about, obviously you're going to show on the map, right? I talk about it in my videos all the time. As soon as you show on the map, you're giving free information to the enemy team, and sort of relieving a lot of pressure. Like, Darius can sort of relax now, you know? Like, even though it is a Darius and he shouldn't be too afraid of a Kayn, you're sort of just giving that information away. And, like, to be honest, I don't think that this is... I think this is actually okay. I mean, I'm just thinking right now, okay, well, your Raptors are coming back up, your Red's coming up in about 20 seconds or so. If this was to go bad, you could lose a lot for it, you know?
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Because, like, I just, like, this is just so hard to pull off, you know? Like, you just, I mean, right here, we can see how weak this gank is, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I want to go back way to your base. Did you have room for a control ward?
Probably did.
Oh, okay. We have 150 gold, Josh. Alright, so the reason that I said that is because, like, what I really want you to do, instead of doing that play, so come down, clear this is all good, but come down and just get some information on Skarner's path, where he is. Place a deep control ward in his jungle or something like that. Like, there's a lot more options you could have done than ganked bot. So, like, you see right here, this is fine. Do Gromp, I think. Definitely do Gromp here. Then walk into here. Get a control. Like, actually, Kate's just died mid, but... I mean, I'm still pretty comfortable for you to walk in here. I wouldn't be too scared of a Skarner. You have your E as Kayn. Come here, chuck a control ward here, hit the scrying plant, maybe take his Raptors. You know?
Yeah.
Instead of this gank.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's going to help you get to level 6 faster. And actually, if you did Grump and Raptors, you'd be level 6 right now.
Yeah.
But, Josh, we can't be forgetting those control walls out of base.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you thinking here, Josh?
Oh, right here I was thinking that I'd get vision on like if Scuttle Grab had been taken, or that's pretty much it. And I wasn't really sure what to do here. Figured I'd check if Scuttle Grab was up. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, so a couple of things here. You haven't been topside for a long time, and remember you showed bot, so you need to assume that this crab is long gone, okay?
Yeah.
Other thing is you're actually very weak right now. You have a Stalker's Blade and a Longsword, and this Darius is level 7, and this is not possible to gank. You'll probably just die right here. So, only option for you to do right now is do your red, do your Krugs, reset, back bot. Blue's coming up, Gromp. There's a control ward here, get some pressure dragon, come back down here, remember, and get some control ward. So, I think this was really inefficient in terms of, like, there's just nothing we can do here.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, well, you basically do it here anyway. You take the Krugs, but we are wasting, you know, like 10, 15 seconds. That can make a difference. Uh-oh. What are you doing here? All right, we're basing around Heck in case a fight breaks out. This is okay. Get a control ward. And you are holding on to your warding totem. Do you switch out to, do you like to switch out to sweeper eventually, or?
I'm not sure this game, but usually I try to do that. A lot more recently I've been doing the one where you ward the opposite side of the map back, swap before you do your first clear. But this game I didn't.
Yeah, I think it's fine to hold out on your warding totem as Kayn until maybe your second or third base max, but around this time, it's super important for objectives like Dragon, making sure when you're ganking, you're not walking over wards. Like, a jungler's job isn't... And you shouldn't be scared of a Skarner either, you know? Like, the only maybe excuse I can see with your holding warding totem, you're like, I didn't verse in Elise or something like that, and I'm super scared they're going to kill me and invade me, right?
Yeah.
So red trinket, super important. Control ward, super important. Nice. Alright, good gank.
Yeah.
We do dragon off this. We don't have priority mid. Our bot is base in. Okay, do we know where Skarner is? I think this is actually incredibly risky, Josh.
Yeah. My thought was that my bot lane would help, and I kind of just brain AFK'd as soon as I started doing the dragon. And I like noticed, oh, they're starting to back. I spam ping assistance. And then they back anyways, and I'm like, oh, this is really dangerous.
Yeah. I do like that you have got the control wall down here, but this is really, really risky. We don't know where Skarner is, that's the thing. He hasn't showed on the map at all. So this sort of stuff can, like, potentially lose you a game, Josh. You know, it's like, okay, we are doing this dragon. Like, if Skarner rocks up right now, he just, like, flash ults on you, smites the dragon, gets the kill, and takes dragon, you know? And the worst thing about this is you don't have priority mid either, so that's also the risk.
Yeah, definitely.
So what you want to do here, Josh, is you get that gank, you identify... It's actually just purely I don't know where Skarner is. The information why I don't start this drag is because I don't know where Skarner is. And Corki has priority mid. So all you do here is you take crab, do another full clear, reset back bot, and try and punish this Twitch's summoner's spells again. Make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I think even if your Kai'Sa, Yuumi helped you, this is still incredibly risky. Like, if Skarner, like, these guys could easily kill you. You don't have ult anymore. Actually, you do have ult. But Kai'Sa basically has no health, and Yuumi is not that useful. So you do get the dragon. We do see Skarner take Rift Herald. Okay, nice. I would actually way prefer you to taking that kill. I don't think Kate's going to be able to carry this game. So that's actually pretty big. But there's not much you can do about that. I think you definitely needed to kill the Corki.
Yeah. I didn't actually mean it to give it to Caitlyn. I was just like...
I mean, you just had to kill him.
Mott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. So that's all I'm going to go for this early game here, Josh. I mean, this is pretty good. So all up. Like, I do like this. There was some tiny mistakes, but you have 80 CS right now. You've been pretty efficient. I think you could have been a little bit more efficient here with your camps and sort of your timing. But overall, I think it's pretty good. And the other thing is, yeah, you definitely need Red Sweeper Trinket, Josh, by this time in the game. Pretty important.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely something I don't do enough. I usually sit on Warding Trinket for a while.
Okay, so any other questions here, Josh, or questions in general?
You kind of answered some of them. I definitely think I'll focus more on trying to switch out to Warding Trinket and probably safer dragons. It's definitely something I tend to take risk on.
Yep, I think that's all tiny little things there. And yeah, I think that overall you have a pretty good idea of how to play Kayn. I think get into that level 6, farm efficiently. I like your clear, and runes were fine as well. All right, Josh, thanks for coming on, and I'll see you next time potentially.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, see you later, Josh. All right, so that was our first guest. Our second guest is going to be Andrew, who I think is another returning guest, Warwick player in gold. I'll take a quick look at the chat. So Emergency Finances probably has been answered, but do you stream on Twitch? No, I don't stream on Twitch. I don't actually stream really at all apart from these shows. If I was to stream, it will be on YouTube, most likely. I am thinking of potentially doing a pretty regular stream of just me playing in the next month or so after I get maybe 2 or 3 more guides out. We'll see. Because I really actually want to spend a lot of time trying to get back to Challenger this season, and I just haven't. I think I got like all up like 300 plus games like this season. Like I haven't played that much compared to what I want to be playing to get back to Challenger. So yeah, I might be sort of streaming that journey. Hey Nathan, do you offer advice on champion pools? We'll be interested to hear you take on covering strengths weaknesses of a champion pool. If you want to chuck it in the chat, Drail, I'm happy to give you my opinion. Alright, Andrew is in the chat. I'm going to drag you in a second. Andrew, you do say you're nervous. There's nothing to be nervous about. We're just here to help you perfect your early game. So just going to relax, chill, and take a look at some early games. Zach versus Nunu. John, are you saying, okay, what's the Zach versus Nunu matchup like? I haven't played that often, to be honest, but I'm thinking... I mean, I think it really comes down to, like, who's better with the team comps. Like, they're both tanks that sort of scale. I think Zach's the better scaling tank, though, for team fights. Nunu, okay, the way that I view it is Nunu is going to be better at taking those dragons and Rift Heralds and sort of like around the mid game, but I think Zach's going to sort of outscale Nunu. Because at the end of the day, like a Nunu, Zach, like these guys can't just kill each other, and I feel like Zach's going to be able to do way more in team fights. But again, it depends. Like if you get a good W engage off on Nunu, like you're playing the champion effectively, like it's going to work. Who's the champ I ban most Aussie players says? It depends on what champion's playing. Currently, I'm banning... so like Cassidy, I like to ban a lot of these days. I'm currently banning Kayn as a ban for my Graves guide. I feel like Kayn's actually pretty good into Graves, Red Kayn. And Kayn's starting to become more popular a bit. What else? What other OP champs are there? It's really just Cassidy. I just hate Cassidy. I hate playing with it, and I hate playing against it. It's just like, okay, we get to level 16, and like we win or lose the game. And like you're sort of forced to like dive it early. It's just not that fun. Alright. Andrew, I'm going to drag you in a second. So we got a gold Warwick game. Actually, let me just get the game up in a second here. This is on EU West, I think. Have you played against Yasuo as Graves? You can't do anything. I have. So what you want to do against Yas is you don't smoke screen. You don't... the biggest thing is you don't smoke screen until there's no way he can E through things anymore. So it's like when a minion wave, just wait for him to E all through the wave. And don't Q unless he's like, again, he's like running away or he's standing still. So that's really how you want to play against Yas. Just don't use your abilities until like he has no more dashes, basically. And then you can pretty much dodge his you can dodge his Q pretty easily. His Q ult combo with your E if you're good enough. And Red Smite just makes the dueling really easy. I mean, I think Graves is really good into Yas. As long as again you're playing to those rules where just wait for him to use all his abilities before you smoke screen or E or EQ, sorry. Alright, so what am I doing here? I'm getting onto EU West. Before I remember my password. What is the best jungler to improve at the position? It's always hard to say, Getter. I think that Xin Zhao teaches you really good fundamentals. It's a pretty simple champion. Warwick, we're going to do a review of Warwick in a second, so I would recommend either Warwick or Warwick, Xin Zhao. I have a guide on Xin Zhao if you want to check my channel. And also Nunu, I think, is a really good starting tank champion that also teaches you pretty good fundamentals about how to gank and how to gank effectively and how to sort of play around champions in the game. So I hope that helps Getter. So Drell says his champion pool is 2 AD, 2 AP, Nunu, Trundle, Karzik, Zac. Yeah, I like that pool, Drell. I think that's good. So you just need to have a criteria list right now. Okay, when do I pick Nunu? What do I pick Trundle into? What do I pick Karzik into? What do I pick Zac into? So Trundle I view as like a strong early game sort of jungler, but I would really love if there was like a little bit more of an aggressive early jungler there. Like Karzik, Zac, Nunu, or Karzik, Zac are pretty much the same. Nunu, you can do things like level 3, level 4. What champion could you potentially add there? I mean, I always avoid sort of recommending champs like Elise and Lee Sin. They're like the more difficult champs to play. Maybe Xin Zhao, Drell, potentially add. Go check out my Xin Zhao guide. Again, I think he teaches really good fundamentals. He teaches you how to play early game and how to try and close out games early, because you will get outscaled with Xin Zhao, so you need to close out games. I talk about that in my guide, the hydraulic press mindset. Alright, so we're getting on EU West here. Jarvan, that's another one. Yeah, John, I love Jarvan. I think Jarvan's actually a really good sort of beginner champ as well. How would you compare the playstyles of Warwick and Xin? Where are the pros and cons of picking one another? Okay, the way that I view it is Xin is very strong early ganker. Warwick is a good ganker, but Warwick's better fighting the enemy jungler early. So it's like contesting those crabs, getting to their face in their jungle. But they're pretty similar in a way that they're both super hardcore early champs. Rek'Sai, if you're up for playing Rek'Sai Drail, I definitely recommend Rek'Sai, but he's, again, a very champion that you need to very master the early game, because you will get outscaled. You're not really a 1v5 champ as Rek'Sai, but your ganks are really, really strong. Alright, so this is what Warwick 9314. Here we go. Let's get this game up here. Alright, Andrew, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yeah.
Excellent. Alright, Andrew, I'm going to get your game up in just a moment here. This is a Warwick game of yours. What did we review last time when you came on? It wasn't Warwick, was it? Set, that's right.
Set.
I'm just going to get rid of this sound. Alright, so you can see the screen all good?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is a Warwick game of yours. We've just been talking a bit about Warwick in the chat. Definitely think he's a really good champion for sort of learning.
He's my favorite champion, actually.
He's your go-to, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I actually haven't looked at your OPGG, but you play set as well. Are you just not playing set anymore? You don't like it anymore, or?
No. I still play set. I'm I'm using Warwick at the moment because I usually get I'm usually first pick, so he's my safe option.
Okay, so you were just picking when your first pick, safe option, strong early game. Yep, I like that. I think that's good decision making. Alright, so let's first take a look at your runes here. So press the attack,
Yeah.
Triumph, Tenacity, Last Stand. This is good. Celerity, Water Walking. You don't like taking Nimbus Cloak?
Yeah, I like it. I tried it, and I don't know. I'm trying the celerity again. I tried it in this club.
Yeah, so the way that I view Warwick is, so I think Celerity in general is just a terrible rune right now. And the way that I view,
think the same.
you think the same? Well, why are you taking it then, Andrew? What's going on here?
I think is a bad rune, but I was like, okay, let's look at u.gg, and the rune setup was good, so I was like, okay, maybe I'm not getting the point. Maybe celerity is good on him. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay, I always question those u.gg and stuff like runes guards and stuff like that. So they're great for like the mass sort of like, okay, we'll just take that because it's pretty easy, because Celerity you don't need to think about using like a smite or anything like that. But in general, so if you think about Warwick, how he ganks, right? Getting that E off in the gank is so important, right? And like the burst from the movement speed from Nimbus Cloak can help you get that fear. Like, you know, when you gank and you want to fear them towards your team, that can be the difference, the Nimbus Cloak, and just getting on them. Celerity is not going to be able to, like, it gives you some movement speed, but the burst movement speed from Nimbus Cloak is just way better. So does that make sense, the theory there around like just getting that E off is going to be so much easier when you have Nimbus Cloak?
I'll try it again, I guess.
Yeah, definitely recommend you trying it. I just think his just ganking feels way better as Warwick. Alright, so you're starting blue here, Andrew. Tell me about, what are you thinking here? What's your early game plan? What's your win condition? What do you want to do early game here?
So we saw an early invade bot, and we saw Mastery retiring into his jungle. So I was we are on the opposite side of the map, so I can do trick and clear, then go to my right.
Okay. So you want to be opposite side of the maps intentionally? You don't want to get into Master's face?
I wanted to be on the same side of the map, but because of the invade, I was forced to start blue.
Okay.
Usually, I do a trick and clear, then try to invade if I am against a weaker jungler.
Yeah. Okay, so I definitely think you're right there, but you see this, Andrew, or you see them all walk back to your blue, they don't want to take your red anymore. So I think it's fine. Just go red here, because I need you, as you said, you know, you want to be in their face and start the same side as them, because I need you to invade Yi on his red. Yi cannot get away with this early game against a Warwick. So I think it's really important you invade him here. So do you see, Andrew, how you had plenty of time to go to your red? Like right here, just be looking. So you see where Yi's walking right now? We still have 20 seconds to walk. Just go to your red. Yeah?
I didn't go to my red even because I thought it was worded, so I didn't want to make them think where I was. I did even a leashless opener, so I could make them a bit confused on my position. Because
Okay.
I could even be on their red.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. But if you think about it again, okay, what you just said there, they're going to know where you started anyway if this is warded, right? Because like Zach's going to be able to like just check red here anyway, so they know you're not starting red. So I think it doesn't matter. Just honestly, like the way you need to view it is like don't try and like outsmart the Yi or like the enemy team saying, oh, I just want to start blue, so maybe they won't know where I started. Like just start red, he starts blue, and then he there's nothing he can do about you taking his red, and then suddenly Yi's in a really bad position where he's like, okay, I don't have a red buff, I can't gank early, and Warwick's in my top side jungle, so I have to give him my Raptors and Krugs. So sometimes the enemy team can't do anything about it, even though you, even though they have that information, right? So this is actually really bad that you're sliding blue here, because again, you're just not going to be able to punish this Yi's early game. He's going to get a free level 4, basically.
I'll do even awkward patting because of this. It was the thing I wanted to review.
Okay, then you're going back. Okay. Okay, so let's think about it here. So obviously you're still in the mindset where you want to punish the Yi, right? And you know he's definitely top side. Yeah. I actually don't mind this. Okay, let's think about if gank is bot is gankable here. Okay, so what do you think right now? Do you think after this red, bot's gankable?
With this red, yeah, it could be gankable. We got some opportunity, but I don't know. I prefer let my bot scale, to be honest.
Okay, we can do that. I mean, I think killing Ashes and Luxes with Warwick is very easy, you know, so yeah. I think this is an option, but the other option
can just flash Luke's Q.
Well, like ideally you're dodging Locke's Q and then you're queuing onto her. She flashes, and then you flash her flash, and then you kill her, right? So you don't exactly probably want to flash the Lux Q, because then you don't have flash to close the gap, right? After that. Okay, so I think either of these options work here. I think this is the more risky move, Andrew, because right now, you've taken so long to do this clear, is that Yi is probably already got his Raptors and his Krugs probably by now. So this is definitely, I think, really like inefficient, awkward. Like I think bot was definitely the right move to gank here, but the fact that you're contesting him on this crab, I think he's okay. But I definitely would rather get those kills bot or burn flashes. And you know how you said bot will scale Vayne center? Like yeah, absolutely. And killing them and burning their summoners is going to be able to even easier ganks. And you've been topside here, like, I don't really like you playing towards this Shen with a Zach, you know?
Yeah.
So again, imagine if you're here right now, Andrew.
I could punish them.
So think about all you did going top here was take a crab. Versus 400, maybe 600-700 gold worth of kills and summoners here, you know, so you always got to weigh it up. Okay, I'm coming to try and punish Yi, but you need to recognize that you can't punish Yi anymore because you did path in that just wouldn't allow you to invade him. You didn't have the time, and you can't really gank a Shenzak lane anyway, right? Especially when Shen's actually really pressuring him under tower. So a couple of things in this early game here, Andrew. We should have started red. There's no reason to not start red, and we should have ganked bot.
So even if I take a double scuttle, it's not worth it.
Well, I mean, what do you think? Is it better to take double crab or get 2 kills here, or at least burn summoners and get 700 gold worth and still get a crab? What do you think's more worth, you know?
Yeah, I get the point.
Well, that's really all I want to go for your early game. This is pretty short, but these are huge mistakes as Warwick we can't be making. It looks like you do win this game eventually, but obviously we're all about perfecting the early game here. So any other questions around this one, Andrew?
Oh, I had some question about Olaf, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Olaf, go ahead.
So I was against Nunu today, and I was literally destroyed. So I saw the statistic and it seems like it's my counter, but I don't know.
So
I
you say,
probably played
sorry, did you
with
say Nunu? What champion did you say you were versing as Olaf?
Udi.
Udia. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So Udia is actually a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
I actually haven't played against. I didn't think I played against Udia at all as Olaf, but I know that Tiger Stance Udia is actually very good against Olaf because he actually can sort of like Udia early game with 2 points Q, like can pretty much 1v1 any jungler in the game. So really all you need to be doing is like avoiding him in a way, and in terms of the early game, but I think at level 6 you should be able to kill him, I think, pretty easily.
Yeah, okay. If I can do another question.
Yep.
What should be your what is your page with Rek'Sai?
Room page with Rek'Sai.
Because I tried Hail Blade and it went a little poorly. So I tried Conqueror and it is a little bit good. But maybe I'm just doing some errors. So I ask you because you're better than me.
So Rek'Sai, I view Rek'Sai as pretty much Hail of Blades exclusively. I know you can go Conqueror. There's some highly played Conqueror players. The way that I view going Conqueror Rek'Sai over Hail of Blades is that, well, then I shouldn't be picking Rek'Sai in that game anyway. Like, just pick a better Conqueror champion, like Lee Sin, Olaf. Again, you can go it, like, so the way you view it is like, okay, Rek'Sai, I'm picking early and taking Hail of Blades if I am going to get really good ganks off, or like I have a scaling team comp. But he's all about the early game. So I think Hail of Blades is way better to go. He makes his early ganks so much stronger, which is his identity. His identity at the end of the day is like early game, super strong ganks. There's like no counterplay for the enemy team. So the room build you want to go is Hail of Blades, cheap shot, Zombie Ward. I know you can go Eyeball Collection in lower elo because you can't really utilize Zombie Ward, but I think Zombie Ward is still the best for him.
Zombie Ward.
Okay, you like Zombie Ward? Great. Then Relentless Hunter, and then you go Nimbus Cloak and Water Walk in the secondary tree. And then attack speed, AD, armor, or magic resist. Yeah?
Okay. Just a last one, if I'm not...
Absolutely. Go ahead, Andrew.
Thank you. So in this case, if the enemy team took my red, what is my option? If I can't start on my red and doing the invade, I should just trade the reds to a vertical jungling, something like that.
Okay, so you said if they take your red?
They take my red.
Okay, well, what you want to do here...
Deny my plan, basically. They deny my plan.
So if they take your red in the early game here, then what you want to be doing here... So there's actually a lot of momentum and tempo loss when the Yi takes this. So Yi usually doesn't really... I don't think he should do Raptors here, but he has the option to go red to straight to your red to defend. So what you actually want to do here is you just do blue Gromp Wolves, level 3, and then you vertical jungle, and then you go into his red. That's what you want to be doing here. You'll be level 3, he'll be level 2, and if he tries to fight you, you win, even though he has red buff.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Alright, no worries, Andrew. Thanks for coming on, and I'll potentially see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Alright, so as our second guest here, we're going to drag in our next one, Platinum for Zach, in just a moment. So Archangel says Warwick Q follows her flash. Yes, that's true. Sometimes that's a little bit hard to do though. Yeah. Like let's say if you get slowed by the E or something like that and you can't get in range to do the Q. But ideally I want to have that flash to trade their flash as Warwick. But you definitely still can do that. Yep. Aussie player says played against an Udi yesterday. Not fun early game, but destroyed his team late game as Warwick. Yep. Udyr is probably like the hardest drop-off champion in the game. Udyr just sucks straight up right now, honestly. His kit is just completely outclassed by current new champions with all these CC gap closers, like can kite super easily. Like Udyr's kit is super outdated. He needs a huge update. Destro says, hey, what's up? I'm late. You're not late. We're just still going through some reviews, Destro. There's also be the VOD of this stream up if you want to catch the last 2 reviews. Alright, so let's get our next guest in. Platinum for Zach. This is a game on NA, is it? So John says, thoughts on the new Volley Bear. I actually haven't seen it. I actually didn't see that that launch on him. So I actually have no idea yet. But I've heard that he is maybe not be a jungler, better support. So yeah, I actually don't know anything about the new Volley Bear yet. Probably should have watched that stream the other day. Okay, his ult disables tower shots. Okay, that's cool. Well, that makes diving really easily. Much easier than other champs. Like, how does it work? Is it like a Taric ult? Is it for the entire team or just himself? Alright, so we're getting this game up in a second. Alright, Meme Sama, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good? Oh, I hear some mic activity. If you're talking, I can't hear you just yet, but I did just hear some sound.
You can hear me?
Yep.
You
all
hear
good.
me? Oh, yeah, okay.
Alright, Meme Sama, what's your... This is the first time you're on the show, right?
No, the second time.
Okay, what's your real life name again?
Gabriel.
Gabriel. Alright, Gabriel. I'm gonna get your game up in a second.
Yeah,
what was the champion we did? It wasn't a Zac game, was it?
It was a Echo game.
That's right. Yep, I do remember now.
Yeah.
Alright, what am I doing here? Zac 2, which one was it? The 2-9?
The
7-7-10.
7-7-10, yeah.
And how's your ranks been going since our last review, Gabriel?
Review, I stopped playing for quite a while because Valorant came out, so I was playing a lot of Valorant. But I started again to play League like in the last days. So, and I tried to pick a new champion, which is Zac.
Oops, that's not the game. Okay, and how you liking Zac right now?
He's really strong. He's bad early game, but he has insane scaling versus other junglers. Like late game, he does so much damage. It's a really good. He's really good in team fights. Provides a lot of CC and peeling for carrying teammates.
Yeah, I think Zac's one of the best scaling tanks in the game. But obviously, as you said, the early game is a little bit difficult on him.
Yeah. Especially if teammates dies, like for level 3 or 2 ganks from the other jungle. It's kind of hard for you to do something since you don't really want to gank before level 4, at least.
Yep, yeah, I definitely think that's the right move.
Unless it's a free gank. Like
unless it's a free gank, yeah. But pretty rare. So, Aftershock Demolish over Font of Life. You don't like Font of Life?
I like Demolish, like, for getting early towers.
Okay, yep.
Like getting plates and gold.
Then you go Conditioning, Revitalize, Magical Footwear, Cosmic Insight, CDR, Armor. You don't like taking the health?
I I usually it depends on their team comp. I usually like if they're heavy AP, I usually take 2 points in the MR, and if they're like, especially if the jungler is AP, and if the jungler is AD and they have a lot of AD, I'll take 2 points in the armor
Okay.
for the early game, like when the counter gank, or so I can have extra sustain.
All right, so we're starting blue here. So tell me about what are you thinking here in terms of win condition, your early game plan?
Well, what I want to do is I want to gank level 4 top, since Illaoi like, but bottom I don't have much CC. It's hard to gank a Syndra, which counters Zac. So I want to get ahead the Illaoi against a little Teemo. Mid also it's hard to gank AZ because of his W. So I want to like do a full clear, get my level 4 and gank top.
Yep, I like it a lot, Gabriel. This is good. Alright, so we're coming for a counter gank here. Don't know about this one. Okay, so... Because the thing about this, Gabriel, is that you showing right here, the fact that you are a very weak Zac, if you were to get chunked here, you could maybe lose your topside jungle. Yeah?
True.
So, like, what am I thinking now? I'm thinking just let Tristana... Like, Tristana should be fine. The way that I view this is like, okay, this is a level 2 Lee Sin. Like, she's full health. She has flash. She has her E. Her W, sorry. I think it's much better to just leave this and just keep full clearing. Because again, I can't let you show right now and potentially lose your topside jungle camps if something was to go bad. But it looks like it's like fine. Because now it's super obvious. Like, think about the Lee Sin, how obvious it is what path you've done and what buffs are still up.
Yeah.
So you're sort of giving him like a free opportunity to like take his red. And there's nothing really you could do about it, right? Because you're a Zac.
I'm weak, yeah.
But, I mean, I guess you do have top priority and mid priority, so it would be sort of risky, but, again, sort of had that, like, mindset when you're, like, looking to do a counter gank level 3 early there. Can be really punishing. So, I mean, look at this right here. This is a perfect example. Alright, so what happens? So.
Yeah, he invades me.
Illaoi comes to help. He comes back. Alright, so Gabriel, you're super lucky you have a good team here. Because imagine if Illaoi didn't have priority there. So again, think about how punishing that mid commit. And look, I love that we just saw the perfect example here. We're like, alright, this can happen, Gabriel, and then it happens, you know? So it all stemmed from that showing mid. Like, I guess Lee Sin could have still done that, but
they had my laners had prior, yeah.
But you're giving the game free information to the enemy team. You're just making Lee Sin's life so easy. Okay, so this is super important here, Gabriel. So, where is Lee Sin going to go out of base after his death?
To the Skull Crowd.
Which one, bot side or top side?
Well, he knows I'm top side, so he'll probably come top side to contest it.
Yeah. So, let's think about how weak we are. We don't have passive anymore. Let's just reset and go bot. Don't even bother contesting this top scuttle, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's why it's really important. Ask yourself the question, okay, where he just died, where's he most likely gonna go out of base?
To the side where he can contest something that I wanna get.
And like you have a lot of gold right now. Just go and spend your gold, you know? You don't need to contest this crab. Like, just leave this crab. Who cares about this crab? Sure, he could maybe double crab you, but you're so far ahead right now, it doesn't matter. You know? Then you just take Gromp, full clear again. By the time you're like level 6 here, you're pretty much going to outscale Lee Sin already. So there's no reason to go for this crab, especially the fact that look at your lanes. Can they help you on this crab if Lee Sin's here?
Nope. They don't have prior. Illaoi is backing. Yeah. They can help me.
Alright, well you can literally 1v1 this guy because he has no items, so this is good. Fiddle comes. Alright, let's take a look at this. Do you have Q? Okay, so you don't have Q yet. Shaco's roaming up. Zed has priority. Zed is level 6. Okay, so purely because, Gabriel, that Zed's level 6 here, we need to be getting out of here. Yeah?
Yeah.
Tristana is super weak. You have just used your entire combo. Like, Zac at the end of the day is still very weak. At the end of the day, you are still not strong right now. You know, like you don't have Cinderhulk, you're not super tanky, and Shaco's collapsing here. So I think right now, just leave it. Just because purely the fact that, again, Zed's level 6.
Oh, that was... I didn't pay attention to that.
And now you guys all die. Alright. So that's all I want to go for this early game here. Gabriel, 3 core mistakes there. The showing mid. When you didn't need to. Just let Tristana escape that gank. Contesting that top grab, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that to win the game. All you need to do is just reset, spend your gold, you have a kill. And then that fight there, we can't fight Zed's level 6. And we used all our abilities on Lee Sin, who got away. So any other questions around that, Gabriel?
Not particularly this game, but I was trying to pick up J4. And I know that, like, I heard that he has, like, a high skill ceiling, so... I don't know what's the good way to play him.
Right,
Like,
the good way to play Jarvan.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he has a super high skill ceiling. So Jarvan's really strong early. He can get good early ganks off. He has a level 2 gank option, but that's sort of a thing you really only want to pull off in certain situations when you have, you know, CC bot laners like Pyke, Blitz, Nautilus. Yeah, it's pretty much just trying to get your lanes ahead. You want to probably be building Cinderhulk into like Black Cleaver, like going the full like AD warrior route sort of isn't really a thing anymore for Jarvan. You can do it against really squishy comps, but yeah, I think Jarvan's great. To add to your point, Jarvan's one of the most versatile junglers in the game. I think he's a very good blind pick, first pick. Yeah. There's not really any champs that like hard counter a Jarvan, you know? Like he does well against early junglers like Zac, like tanks and stuff like that. He can punish them, he can take their buffs, get in their face, impact the game early. And you don't exactly, you sort of do get outscaled, but like at the end of the day, if you get a really good EQ combo off in a team fight, it can win you the game, you know? Yeah.
But do you play, you never play him warrior unless you're like super fed and they're all squishy?
If they're all squishy, then go warrior. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, any other questions, Gabriel?
No. Thank you.
Alright, no worries, Gabriel. I'll potentially see you next time.
Yeah.
See you later.
Thank you for...
Oh, I did cut off Meme Salma just then, but all good. So we'll jump into our next guest here. Is a Silver for Warwick game. Take a quick look at the chat. Okay, so Volibear's ult disables actual tower shots. Okay, that's pretty cool. Again, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it plays out. Alright, so let's get up the next game here. So this is Silver for Warwick. On what server is this? EU West. So Getter says, what's your opinion on Warrior versus Cinderhulk on Warwick? I think Cinderhulk's better. I think Warrior, you need to be very good at Warwick to go Warrior. I think Warrior is very punishing, but it's sort of like, so there's a really good guard by this guy. I think his name starts with P, I can't remember. It's like Parallax or something like that. He goes Warrior Warwick. He's like a high elo NA player. And when I was watching, I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's really good, but you need to be really good at Warwick to pull off. Where I think Cinderhulk's way... Like, the thing about Warwick is that you can build tank, and that's the one, Parnellix. You can build tank, and you still have that, like, true damage. You know, from, like, the Q, the percentage health damage. So, it makes sense to go tank on Warwick. So I think Cinderhulk's just like better, more safer, and you still do damage whilst being tanky, which is sort of what Warwick strength is. A lot of people saying Blood Razor for Warwick. The way that I really like to build Warwick is like skipping Tiamat, like just playing like full support mode, like going like Knight's Vow and like Spirit Visage. I think that's like, I just love playing Warwick like that, but like that's like really not a carry like thing for lower elo, so I wouldn't really recommend that again unless you're in a bit more higher elo. Alright, so let's get our next guest in here. This is Silver for Warwick. Where is the game? Warrior into tank items. Yeah, again, I don't like that getter because you're so squishy in that period of you're too squishy in that period from like when you get warrior. By the time you start building tank items, like it's like you're level 9 like itch, and then you're just so squishy at that point you can just easily get one shot and carded. So based on that, I think Cinderhulk Warwick is the better way to go. Yeah, I watched that guy and started to build warrior, but I feel so much worse with it. Yeah, just go back to Cinderhulk. Yeah, and I think you need to be very good at Warwick, understand his mechanics, and pull off his combos really good to pull off for the warrior. Alright, so let's get this game up. This is again EU West. Warwick player, Silver 4. Alright, Mortiui, is that how you pronounce it? You're on the air, can you hear me all good?
Hey, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Excellent. Loud and clear. Alright, I'm going to get your game up in just a moment. What's your real life name, by the way?
Leon.
Leon. Alright, Leon. So let me know when the game is up on your screen. I think this is the game.
Am I looking on...
Yeah, so what you want to do is just look
stream.
on... Yeah, the stream, and just mute the stream and just listen to me on Discord.
Yes. Yeah, that's the game.
Alright, so this is the first time you've been on the show here, Leon. Tell me about how your rank's been going so far this season. Obviously, Warwick, you're Warwick main?
Yeah, so I was playing a lot of ADC, but kind of ADC I feel in this meta of this ELO, like, I don't know, you can't really, like, even if you're hyper-fed, it's, like, quite hard to... If like a top laner, bruiser, or jungler gets fed, it's very hard to carry from that point of view. So I thought, and I've always been interested in jungle, so I thought, why not switch it up and kind of learn a new role a bit.
Well, I think you definitely made the right choice here, Leon, as a fellow jungle main here. So, how long have you been playing jungle for?
Like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, I think now.
Oh, wow.
But like,
okay.
It's kind of been going downhill today with these games that I played, and I've been playing the standard Cinderhulk with sorcery tree, so water walking and stuff like that. But this game I'm playing domination tree, and I was like, just before you got me on stream, I like you were discussing like Blood Razor and Cinderhulk for your jungle item, and this game I was kind of trying out Blood Razor, so kind of on hit Warwick, like with Wit's End, Blade of the Rune King, Rage Blade kind of thing, rather than building many tank items.
Yeah. Again, I think that's just, you're so squishy, it's so kiteable. Like I feel like just not utilizing like on hit Warwick. Like the way that I view it, no one's gonna sit there and let you just on hit with Warwick. Like Fizz is gonna be running away from you. You're gonna get CC by Blitz. You've got an Elise in here. Like you're not gonna just on hit. Like you're just gonna get one shot. You know. So that's the way I view it. So, yeah, Runes here, Pressy Attack, Triumph, Alacrity, Last Stand. I think this is a game I really like going Tenacity. If there's like any sort of CC abilities on the enemy team, like you got Jin, Blitz here, you got Slows from Fizz, go Tenacity, and then build Ninja Tarbs, because this is a really good Ninja Tarbs game, right? Jin, Lee Sin, Darius. Like, I don't want you to build Mercurids.
Yeah, for this game I build ninjas.
But then obviously you don't have the Tenacity, which sucks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, then you got Ravenous Hunter, Cheap Shot. Okay, so I don't like Ravenous Hunter on Warwick. If you want to go these... So the way that I view these secondary runes with Warwick is I like to go Cheap Shot and Relentless Hunter if I'm against a heavy melee team that's really tanky. So I think you could maybe pull it off this game. Like, Fizz and Jin are sort of the squishy, like, champs here. But if you're... why I really like Cheap Shot, Relentless Hunter is that Relentless Hunter is so important with this build, because if you're against... You know, when you want to pick it into that super melee team, like let's say if you're versus a Yasuo mid right here, there's going to be a lot of fighting. Like melee champs love to fight in League of Legends, so you want that Relentless Hunter to be everywhere on top of your W. But in general, I think that going Nimbus Cloak Waterwalking is like the go-to for Warwick. The other option as well is Bone Plating and Revitalize if you're against like a bursty assassin team and you have a healing support.
Okay.
Alright, so tell me about your early game plan here, Leon, in terms of like red start. Like, what are you looking to do in terms of the early game?
So kind of new to jungling at the moment. So I've been doing a lot of like 3 camp clears, so red, blue, gromp, and then look for a gank, top or mid kind of thing. Like bot is kind of a good win condition this game because it's a very strong early game. Top, you can't really do much. You kind of have to I mean, it's a Maokai, like I don't know, you kind of just let them scale and farm basically, and then mid's kind of quite volatile, melee into range. Also kind of could be a win condition, could be gankable because it's a melee. And I think this game I go mid.
Yep, okay, I like it. I think it definitely can work. Okay, the problem with the way that I see Lux though is that even if Lux gets ahead and fed, she doesn't really do much with it. Like, the way that I view Lux is like, she's just like an ultimate defense champ that capitalizes on the enemy team's mistakes. She can't really make proactive plays. So, so I really like leaving Lux lanes alone. I think bot is very doable for you. I would be really looking to do bot. I think that your better game plan this game, Leon, would just actually do blue, Gromp, Wolves, red into gank bot.
Okay. So reverse.
Yeah, complete reverse basically what you did. Like, I mean, you don't know if they're going to push in, but think about it right now. If you did that path, you would be like around here this time, you know? Yeah. But again, I don't see Maokai getting ahead. Like, Darius is still going to be able to just destroy him, you know? Because he has that.
Yeah, like, top lane was kind of no-go. Again, how this game actually ends up working out is a loss, but then kind of, I don't know, I get some kills on the Darius, I don't know how, but top lane just loses, and then mid lane get the kill on Fizz but also loses, and it kind of just goes downhill.
Yes, I'm not hearing much about bot here, Leon, but you're actually looking to gank right now, but this is warded, so you back off. Krugs.
So for that, it wasn't warded, but I don't know if I did ping or not, but they didn't react, so they saw me and just backed off, and that was kind of the gank.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, as Warwick, right, we never want to be walking into a gank. We want to be flanking from the side, right? Because it makes getting your E a lot better off.
So you can cut them off.
Yeah, so I think what you do here, Leon, is you don't gank at all. You just base, and then you just go topside for your Gromp. Because the way that I view ganks is if my position's blown, like, they know that I'm, like, around here. So, like, let's say they obviously saw you when you came down here, right? Because they backed off.
Yeah.
And this is also why Sweeper is super important, by the way, early. You should definitely be getting Sweeper on your first base. Or, like begin the game with Sweeper as well. Like, super important for those early ganks.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, they see you, they back off. Because the best thing about right now, you could sweep this ward, right? and then you go back to your Krugs, and then you can come and regank if the wave's in the right position. Because right now, again, you're like walking over wards, right? So do Krugs. They are committing to this wave. Okay, so right now, Leon, this is not gankable anymore. Because you see they're not committing to any minions anymore. Oops. So just reset, go topside. Like they know you're here. It's super obvious. So you actually, what are you walking over? Okay, you actually are walking over super. Okay, so this is actually what happened here, Leon. This is warded. You walked over this ward, so they knew you were bot side, so they ran away. And then this is warded. You know?
Yeah.
And again, we just don't have this information because we don't have red sweeper trinket. If you had red sweeper, you'd be like, okay, they backed off. Clear. This is all gone. Do our Krugs, then look to regank bot, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
That's why red sweeper trinket's super important for Warwick specifically. So yeah, this is all super wasted. A lot of time wasted. And you don't get any, you do get Jin Flash, which is okay to regank. Okay, top side. Do our Gromp. You are going to Raptors here. You have Tiamat, so Raptors is good. Okay, the way that I'll be viewing this right now, Leon, is I want to create an efficient jungle path around Dragon. So go Gromp out of base here, because right now, let's say, because your wolves are about to come up soon, right? If you're stuck right now doing wolves Gromp, then you're topside, where you don't want to be topside anymore. Yeah?
Yeah.
So out of base, come to your Gromp. Gromp is great for experience and gold. Wolves, Raptors, then look to pressure bot again. I think you can potentially punish this Jin Flash. You have a Leona, and look to get Dragon. So you see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, your top side, you'd actually lose Dragon there. I don't think there's much you could have done about that. But you wouldn't have lost Dragon there, Leon, if you didn't show bot in that gank.
Yeah.
So you see how all these things are adding up? Like, if you just based right now, if you based, didn't do that gank, did Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, you would be around bot to do Dragon. So all these tiny things add up. Again, showing on the map, doing nothing with it is worst case scenario as a jungler. Oh, so you trade the top crab for it. Just run away from Darius. Okay, why control ward here instead of a bush? This is just going to die, right?
I don't know. I was trying to get info on the Raptors camp. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, like, we can get info without control wards, right? Just by walking here. The other thing here as well, Leon, is that you remember you don't want to be topside. You don't want to be putting your pressure, your vision topside, because you want to be bot side, or pressuring bot side. So again, this is all like because you just haven't got a clear game plan this game, Leon. This is what happens. You start walking around the map on autopilot, like, oh, I'm top. I'm gonna check Raptors. I'm gonna place a ward here. Versus having a direction always in the game. Like, okay, I need to place my control wards bot. I need to create efficient jungle pathing around bot, and then like that's why having a game plan is so important, right? Okay, so you do get the kill top there, but again, the worst thing about this now, Leon, is you showed top, and guess what? You could potentially use your red buff and stuff and Krugs for this, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I want to go over for this game. So we've covered a lot of like basic jungle fundamentals in here. Was there anything unclear or any other questions around this?
No, just the sweeper trinket. Would you get it straight out of base?
Yeah, I think Warwick, you just start with sweeper. Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't see any use because you command the early game. What you can do is you can do that trick where you place a ward like on their buff early, and then you base and switch out to red sweeper trinket, so then you know where they start, so you could potentially do an evade or something like that. But I definitely want you to have sweeper when you're doing that first sort of move when you're level 3.
Okay. And then if it is warded, you just sweep it, back off, do another camp, come back, abuse.
Yeah, well, in that specific situation, yeah. But yeah, again, you just need to do it so you know you're not walking over wards, and then because then you just lose the option to regank if you show on a ward, right? And it also creates a lot of pressure. If you were to clear that ward back here, and like they might know you're there, but they might not. But they're pressured. They might have to walk back. They have to play safe. They can't heavy trade anymore. So there's also a hidden aspect of like the pressure of like clearing wards as well. Vision is super important in League of Legends. Because think about it, if you saw everyone on the map 24/7, like no one would really die, right?
Yeah.
But that's why the vision, not having vision, that's like where the X factor in League comes from.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Leon. Well, that's going to be it. Do you have any other questions in general, or?
Not well, yeah. Just one about like the general Warwick. So I'm like low silver, kind of ish yellow, or MMR, and then you kind of had the two build paths for Warwick. So you have the I don't know the blood razor one that I'm trying out, and then you have the Cinder Hulk one. Do you think stick to Cinder Hulk and then just itemize at the end, so you kind of get, depending on the team, Dead Man, Spirit Visage, Thorn Mail, stuff like that, and then you get another damage item at the end or something like that, like Blade of the Rune King, Rage Blade, or Wit's End or something like that? Or would you...
I think the best build for Warwick is just go all into the tank, like literally go, so Cinder Hulk, so you get your Tiamat, Cinder Hulk, get Spirit Visage or Dead Man's based on if you're versing heavy AP or heavy AD. Then you probably still want to get that other item unless you're versing full. If you're versing full AD, then you go like Dead Man's into like Thorn Mail or Randuin's.
Yeah.
And then like the next item you probably want to be to build Guardian Angel. Honestly, you just be unkillable. Like your goal is just to be unkillable as Warwick, and you're just baiting all the enemy's abilities and CC, and you're just surviving, and your enemy team's cleaning up, and you're like sort of peeling for your team as well. So just go full tank. Don't worry about this whole on-hit Warwick thing. You're too squishy, you'll die. Just be super tanky and unkillable.
Okay.
All right, Leon. Well, thanks for coming on, and I'll potentially see you next time.
Thanks. See you later.
All right, so we've got our last guest on here. We'll drag in a second. This is Diamond 4 Nunu. I will take a quick look at the chat here. Josh Stim says, hello, Nathan. Good to see you, by the way, again, Josh Stim. I haven't seen you for a while. Hello, Nathan. Have you seen the potential of Yorick Jungle? Yorick Jungle. I've been playing him and have high win rate. My ELO gold. I'm not sure why. How would he work in high ELO? Any thoughts? So, I don't know much about Yorick's clear. I would imagine it's not too strong. Do you start Talisman? I guess you do Talisman, or do you go Machete? I just think Yorick is much better suited in the top lane, because the thing about Yorick is that, okay, you're not going to have enough item. Like, Yorick wants to be a split pusher, and if you're the jungler, you can't really split push. And you're not going to have the items and the goals to like just 1v1 outright people, and his ganks are super weak. Like, sure, you got that little cage thing, but people can just jump out of it. They can see you coming from a mile away. I just don't think that Yorick is a good champion, but like, any champ can work in lower elo, but high elo, you will get punished for playing Yorick jungle. I don't think it's viable. Aussie plays, if you sweep a ward, you don't have to destroy it if it's expiring soon as hitting it reveals your position. Yeah, but like let's say if you're sweeping, they're going to see you on the ward. I mean, there is that brief time where sometimes you can actually sweep and they don't see you. Like, let's say if you're like on the corner of Bot Brush. I don't have an example of it, but corner of Bot Brush, you start doing sweeper, you walk through that tri-brush. They might see you for a split second, but sometimes, I mean, ADCs and supports have bad map awareness, and you just walk through and go for a straight gank. That can work. But in general, just clear the ward when you sweep. Right, John, I'm going to drag you in a second. Do I mute the stream for the review? Yes, mute the stream for the review. I'll get your game up in a sec before I drag you in here, John. Where is this? Is this a game on NA? Yep, NA. So just log on to NA here. So this will be our last guest for tonight. If there's any other questions you guys have, let me know in the chat and I'll answer them after this review. And then we will wrap this up. Alright, so this is a Nunu game, Diamond 4, 1821. Download this. So I'm instantly looking at this. This is a lot of deaths as Nunu. This is not ideal. Let's drag in John here so we can talk about why he has 8 deaths this game. Alright, John, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good? Might have to unmute if you're trying to talk. Alright, let's get John's game up here. So this is Nunu. Oh, this is a really good Nunu game. Nunu Z. So I obviously have my Nunu guide. Where I talk about the importance of having AD champions on your team to utilize Nunu's CC abilities and having consistent damage. But we'll wait till John gets in here. He's actually having some mic issues, I think. Alright, John. Is your microphone working now? Still muted. I just dragged you back in, John. So Derek here says, you ever think about streaming on Twitch? If I do eventually do regular streams, it will be on my YouTube channel, not on Twitch. Reason being is I already have an audience here on YouTube. Like, I might as well just stream on YouTube. And I actually don't mind the YouTube streaming interface platform thing. So if I do stream, Derek, it will be on YouTube. Like, I'd rather have everyone, like, in one place, rather than, like, spreading myself thin. Like, oh, then I gotta get Twitch followers and an audience. Alright, John. Oh, yeah, we're good. Can hear you loud and clear. Alright, John, can you see the game up on your screen? Go on.
Yeah, I had to switch my phone, sorry.
Okay, no worries. Wait, so we're still good? Like, you can hear me all good and see the screen? Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, John, so this is Diamond 4. This is a Nunu game. I'm assuming you came to my channel from seeing my Nunu guide. You're a Nunu player, right?
Yes.
And what did you think of that guide?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. In fact, I got from gold 3 to diamond 3 in 1 month.
Whoa. Was that literally using the material in my guide?
Yeah, no, literally, I watched the guide like 4 or 5 times, and then I used the quarantine to grind out solo queue and really hone in on my jungle fundamentals.
Dude, that's insane climb. Like, I rarely hear that amount of climb. So, wait, have you been higher than gold in the past?
I peaked at plat 4 last season, and I had trouble getting out of gold. But yeah, I really decided to improve this season.
Okay, well that's very quick improvement. Gold struggling to get plat to diamond 3 is pretty insane. So I have friends that have been in bronze or silver for 6-7 years. So that just goes to show that when you actually put your mind to something, you actually try and improve, then you know, you can actually get stuff done. And I think Nunu is like a really good champ as well in terms of a tank in solo queue. Alright, so you chose this game here. John, there's a lot of deaths in this game. Tell me about this.
Yeah. So, I don't know why I have a lot of deaths, to be honest. But I'm excited to review it.
Alright, we'll take a look at it then. Alright, so, runes, we're going Demolish is pretty much all the runes I recommend. Tenacity, because you want to build ninja tabs here, yeah?
Yes.
Excellent, love it. Alright. So, this is a very good Nunu game, like I talk about in my guide. We have lots of AD champs to utilize. Zed, Nunu, I love this combo. I think it's like the best combo in, one of the best 2v2 combos in the game. Set. We do have an Ezreal, which I did talk about, and a little bit hard to gank for, but I love this top side of the map.
Okay.
Alright, so, starting red here. So what are you thinking in terms of win condition here? Like, your path in, what are you thinking?
So, usually what I've tried to do is I try to play around bot side, like you recommended, but but I try to impact top early. So in this particular game, I want to get to top as quickly as possible and pull influence topside, and then go back to bot and then influence dragon.
Okay, I like the game plan. Yep, I think that bot is very ungankable-ish with an Ezreal early. You know, like I talk about my guide. So, red Raptors, Wolves, this is good. Okay, so do we know where Xin Zhao started? This is really important.
I think he started bot side.
Yep, so it looks like bot's giving him a leash. So this is really important. So you need to think about, okay, if I am looking to 2v2 or do anything topside, Xin might be here. It's just going to be a factor you need to consider. Really important to always know where the enemy team bot side. Just look at the enemy bot. Where do they start? So, Raptors, Wolves, Blue. Oh, this is the dream Nunu gank. He flashed into... Alright, Seth gets a kill. Awesome. Alright, so remember, we need to be very careful walking into this river. Yeah? Because Xin Zhao's around.
Yep.
Oh, and here's Xin Zhao. Okay, so this is the first mistake here, John, is that we're not careful walking into this river. This is reckless. So...
Yes.
What you want to do here is just chill out, relax. You have a warding totem. Place a ward. Actually, I'm almost just thinking right now, just give up this crab. Actually, Zed has priority. We shouldn't give up this crab. Okay. Ward. Just ward the river right now. Go, like, see what happens. Like, take the Grom. Actually, no. What you do here is actually hit the scrying plant. John. So come here, hit the scrying plant, check for Xin Zhao. Okay, you'll see Xin Zhao sitting in this brush. If he starts crab, he can't take crab from you, right? Because you have consumed smite.
Yeah.
So there's no rush to take this crab. So all you need to do here is, again, identify, okay, Xin Zhao's here. Hit the scrying plant, take it easy, chill out. Because think about it right now, if Xin doesn't get this crab or kill you, he's so screwed. Because Xin Zhao doesn't want to do Raptors, because that's not a good camp. And you could potentially look to just take bot crab, and he can't gank mid, he can't gank top, because top's going to reset soon. So this is a huge mistake here, is getting chunked by this. You should have known that he was there. Or potentially there. Because now you lose all pressure. You lose that crab, right? So this is where tracking the enemy jungler is super important, John.
Yeah.
And I think Xin Zhao is actually pretty good into Nunu early, but you obviously hard outscale him.
Yes.
Alright, so clear. This is good. Okay, I don't like this gank here, John. So... So when do you decide to come down here? So you decide to come down here now. Oh, I guess this is okay. I guess you do need to do this. You do need to at least walk here. But they get away. Okay, so this is... I think it was fine, but... obviously... doesn't work. Gank Talon, which is good. Alright, nice. Okay. Then we do drag. And it's a mountain drag as well, which is really good for you. Okay, John, what's going on here? You have smite, you have consume, and you lose it to a Rakan.
Yeah.
So, there's not much to say about this. This shouldn't happen. You know? Your Versian, she has about 80 damage to your 1,000. Huh?
I was panicking because I knew that Xin was coming too.
Yeah, so whenever we start panicking League of Legends, that's when mistakes happen. So just chill out. You potentially will die here, but again, imagine if you had flush here, John.
Yeah.
You know, this is all these consequences adding up. Like right now, what you've done this early game, John, this is the lock-in mindset. It's like, there's no way I lose this game anymore. I don't even need to potentially risk Dragon, I don't think. I mean, even if you get dragon and die here, I still think you can do sort of like the lock-in mindset in a way. But like, let's just think about the decision making to do dragon. So like Zed, you kill. So Xin dies here. Zin's probably running straight here. Ezreal's based. Zed's base in. It's close. But again, I just wish you had flash here.
Yeah.
If you didn't have to burn it up before. So it was the right decision if you had flash. Because this is actually not good at all. Because you're level 5 at 7 minutes. So I can tell right now this is when it goes downhill from you, John. Because you need to just farm right now. You're level 5 at 7 minutes. You're literally like not even close to level 6. If you show bot right here, you could lose like your entire topside jungle. You could lose Rift Herald. Like you need to look at all your camps. Yeah?
Yeah.
This is not worth it to gank in a million years. And remember, you don't want to be ganking bot. Look how weak your bot lane is here, John. 0-1 Ezreal, 1-4 Swain.
Yeah.
And you don't have Cinderhawk. You don't have much items, and you're level 5. You know, you don't have ults. If you ult, maybe I can see that, but the priority here is to just, okay, this is it. This is where it goes downhill, I can already tell. So you've showed bot, you've given free information. Oh, you're forcing this way too hard, John. Okay, you do eventually get the kill on Twitch, but again, remember, look at everything we're losing right here. Look at this. All our topside camps, we're probably going to lose Rift Herald as well. Alright, so that's all I want to go over for this early game here, John. But, yeah, I think that there's too much prioritization on bot. You did well. You played around topside, but, like, you just left it after that, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think that big thing is just not tracking, not respecting Xin Zhao at all. It's like he's topside, then you were forced to burn flash, and then you lost double crab as well. You know, like, I actually saw this situation in this game where you should have been the one double crab in the Xin Zhao. Because you had priority with Zed.
Yeah.
Or at least get one crab. So do you have any other questions around this, John? Does that all make sense? Anything to clarify?
Yeah. I actually wrote down a few questions.
Excellent. Let's hear them.
So, I saw in your Nunu guide that when you're ganking bot, you want to do red, raptors, and then Krugs.
Yep.
But I've been experimenting with blue, wolves, raptors into red. The like reverse clear.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that compared to the one side jungle?
Because then I guess you don't need to worry about your blue and your wolves getting stolen anymore, right? Yeah, I think that actually makes a lot of sense. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I think I had a reason for starting red that I talked about. I actually can't remember. Okay, what it is I love the red raptors clear. Like, doing red into raptors just feels nice. Would you agree?
Yes.
I think that's sort of what it was. Like, doing blue wolves, like, it's a little slow, you know? So my go on, John?
No, it's definitely slow, but the pace kind of kicks up once you get to the red side.
Yeah. And also the way you do raptors, like, can you W from mid wave to hit the raptors? You can, right? If you curve it.
Yes, you have to hit the wall next to it to hit all of them, though.
Okay. So my only thing there is the timing. So like I think I can gank bot way quicker if I do 3 camp bot side.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's the way that like the wave happens because like they're not level 1 or level 2, like they're just hitting level 2 by that stage. And then it's sort of like the timing thing, like doing blue, wolves, raptors, red. Like I think it's an extra probably 20 seconds it's going to take to get to bot. So I think that can work. I think that's fine if you're looking to gank bot, but I think it's way stronger and quicker to do red, raptors, Krugs, and then do the decision to take their blue side. But this is actually really good if they haven't started blue. So obviously the bad thing that when you do that path is that if they have started blue, you have nothing to take on their bot side if they're top side, right? And then they can take all your blue side camps, yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that works, but yeah, I mean, I always say just test it out. If it works, keep doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So like just try the difference and see what works for you. You know, you don't always have to do everything that I say in a grain of salt, but like again, that's sort of my reasoning for that is like, I mean, it works super well in my game, so that's why I put it in. You know, I like a 65% win rate with Nunu in Diamond. Like it works. You know, it works. So, any other questions here, John?
Yeah, I have like a few more.
Yep.
So, when you're trying to avoid the enemy jungler, and you're starting opposite side, so if they are on the bottom side on the red, then I'll start the top side red. But then, how do you feel about going to Krugs after red if you're starting on the opposite side of the map, so you don't really have to worry about meeting them?
I'm not sure what you mean here, John. So you're saying if you start red, they start red. You want to do your Krugs after red?
So if you're starting on the opposite side and you're not going to meet them for scuttle, then do you have the freedom to do Krugs after?
The enemy Krugs you're talking about?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you can. I think there's a lot of tempo loss from doing enemy Krugs. Like, it's a bit weird. Let's say if you're versing, I would rather take Raptors. So, like, let's say if it's... Go on, John.
I mean, taking Krugs.
Your own Krugs. So, wait, you're saying, like, red Krugs, then Raptors, and then move topside if they're bot side? Yeah? If they're on the opposite side of the map?
So, for instance, if they're on the bot side and they're starting red buff, then if I'm starting top side, then I'll do red and then Krugs and then Raptor.
Okay, yeah, so this is why I never like to do Krugs even that level 3 gank path, because doing the red Raptors is much quicker. Because it's like, I finish red, and then I can charge up a snowball. You know, like, it feels so much nicer versus doing Krugs this way. You know, it's a bit weird. Because even after you do the Krugs, it's like, well, then I hit this, but then I'm moving bot side. I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's fine if you're not doing the level 3 gank. But I think that there's way more map impact if you just do red, Raptors, Wolves, blue into pressure, you know?
Yeah.
And so are you saying you want to do that because you're scared they're going to take your Krugs?
No, just because I'm not going to meet them on the crab, so I'll just kind of have the freedom to have more time.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's okay, but again, I'm not thinking about the jungler in that aspect. I'm thinking about, I'm level 3 Nunu, I want to do something middle bot, you know? And like, doing the Krugs slows down your path too much, you know?
Okay. Okay, so my next question is going Rift Herald or Dragon, if they're both up. Which one do I prioritize? Because I know in the current meta, that Rift Herald is a little more impactful early game.
Yeah, so the way that I mean, this is situational. Obviously, it's going to depend around what's happening in the game, win conditions. I mean, the way that I view Nunu is like, why not both? You have that 3-minute window. You're very strong in terms of if you have the right champions to get dragons. So, like, if you're losing dragon early as Nunu, like, I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to get it every game. But, like, my first question is, like, you should be thinking about why not get both? But if I was to choose, then I think Rift Herald is pretty good. I mean, it's almost impossible for me to answer that question because it's all game situational, John. Like, like, I feel like that if I was to give, like, people an answer on that one, people are like, oh, I always do Rift Herald, like, over a dragon. Versus, like, well, no, you should have got Rift Herald. You should have got dragon and Rift Herald. Or, like, maybe dragon was, like, really good and, like, their Rift Herald, they can't do much because they don't have lanes that can pressure and all plates are on 5 plates, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it depends, I think, a lot. But dragons are great. Rift Heralds are great. They're all great.
Okay.
But, like, I think losing 1 or 2 dragons is, I think, fine. Losing the first drag's fine, I think. But, you know, we don't just be revolving our whole game plan. We're like, well, I'm just going to 100% lose dragon, you know? Like, if you can get drag, just take it. All right, what's your other question, John?
So my last question is, I know that there's the strategy of putting the ward down early, and
Yep.
then swapping the trinket. But if there's a early game jungler on the enemy team, then I usually like to keep my trinket and ward for my top laner, and not fight top.
Okay,
So
so
yeah.
you ward for your top
I just need
laner,
your thoughts.
and then you switch out to sweeper.
Yeah, I just, on my first back.
Yeah. Okay, wait. So is this on? So you'll start the game with warding totem. You don't have red sweeper. You ward for your top laner. Let's say you do red, raptors, wolves, blue. You come ward, and then you do crab, and you reset, go bot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll do that if So you said against like if you think you lose hard 2v2, but top is like potentially a win condition. Like let's say if you're versing an Elise and like a Darius or something like that, and you have like a I don't know, like a set, for example, this game. Like, I think that's fine because I probably wouldn't want to be 2v2 in that. And you're protecting your set. And let's say you know that Elise started blue. Then, like, yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in
that's it.
general, red sweeper trinket, early Nunu is super important, I think. Just to get those early ganks off, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, John. Well, thanks for coming on. Hopefully that was helpful for you. And I'll potentially see you next time.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you so much.
All right. No worries. See you later, John.
Thank you.
All right. So that was it for this episode of Your First Jungle Clear. If you guys, anyone wants to come on for the next show, join my Discord. There's a link up above there. Get your early game reviewed. We're all about perfecting the early game here on this show as a jungler. So I'll take a quick look at the chat, answer some final questions before we head off. Danchi says, "Hi Nathan, I've been playing Xin after watching your guide. I find myself getting stuck after Red Krug's gank and I just end up waiting for Crab to spawn. What should I do instead?" Okay, a couple options here. Dan, we have Red Krug's gank. Hopefully that gank's impactful. Option is to go invade vertical jungle, take their blue. If they've started blue, then you want to go for a mid gank and look to contest that other scuttle crab. Usually you're very strong early as Xin Zhao, even at level 2. But ideally you want to be getting level 3 from that blue or sealing the enemy Gromp. Philip says, "How do you think Olaf is in terms of learning jungle fundamentals? My intuition is that he's not good for this, so I'm thinking of stopping playing him and picking up J4 as a backup instead." Yes, I think Olaf is a very unique champ, in the fact that there's no champ that's like stronger than him. He can get level 4 super quick, like I talk about in my guide. But like you still do learn jungle fundamentals from him, Philip. I wouldn't completely discount it. Like he's different from like Jarvan, Elise, Lee Sin, all those standard super early strong junglers, but that shouldn't be a reason to not play him. I think if you're like lower elo and you want to learn how to play League, like mastering one champ is super important because it's going to teach you. At the higher you climb, like with a champion, master one champion, whether it teaches you bad fundamentals or not, it's going to help you play against better players. You'll understand more about the game and learn good habits in League of Legends in general. So you can add J4, but I think that you should keep playing Olaf if you're enjoying him. I do talk about enjoying a champ's really important to mastering that champion. Yeah, so Olaf's ganks are somewhat weak, but you aren't playing to gank. You're playing to get every objective, just power farm and deny the enemy jungle as much opportunities as possible. You want to force them to come to you to fight on your terms. That's Olaf's strength. Again, I talk about that in my Olaf guide. Following from earlier, what in champ select would be an indicator of picking Xin versus Warwick? My guess is Warwick is good against weak junglers, while Xin is good for laners without getaways. So the way that I view Warwick is very good into heavy melee teams. Heavy melee teams that are fighting a lot, because he like wins, like you want to be on top of people, fighting people as Warwick. Warwick is not good against ranged champs that can kite him very easily. Xin Zhao's the opposite. Xin Zhao can get on those ranged champs pretty easily. Squishy champs with like no real sort of escape abilities is much better. So Bluster here says, what does tempo really mean? Like priority? Tempo is all about basing at the right time. It really all comes down to basing. It's sort of thinking, okay, The enemy team, the way that I view it is like, it's like chess. So each team has a turn. I do a turn, but I want to block the enemy team from actually having a turn. So it's like, okay, let's say a common scenario is we kill everyone at a dragon fight. We take dragon. No, sorry, that's a bad example. We fight mid. We take the tower, but so we have two options. We either take tower, we do Baron. We take the tower, but then we need to reset and base after that. We can't do Baron because the enemy team's all coming up from their spawn times again, and then they can all come and contest Baron, and you like the way you match the tempo and you keep up is by just resetting after that tower and then coming to pressure Baron, and then the enemy team has no move anymore because you're back on the map, but you took the tower, so you're up in that chess move, you know. So you've sort of like done a move, and they haven't done a move, if that makes sense. That's actually a really bad way of explaining it, but like I'm sort of hope you sort of get the gist. There's actually a really good video on tempo from my friend Coach Curtis. He made a video like a week or two ago. I think it was actually this last week. I recommend you watching that. He explains it much better than what I just did. Jostim says, awesome work, Nathan. Thanks for all this content. Keep it up. I hope to participate next episode. When will it be? As Buster said, every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're in my Discord. Just jump in. 2 hours before the show, I'll tell anyone who wants to come on the show. Just let me know their games. Sil, welcome to the chat. Good work with Chiefs this split. Awesome to see you being coaching. You know, coming from the amateur scene to like, you know, top 3 OPL. So maybe we'll see the Chiefs win OPL next split. But yeah, it's been awesome to see your progression from the amateur to pro. And good work this split. Philip says, thanks. The part about LF I think is different, like making them come and contest you rather than going to... It's just different, you know. You got to play to every champion's strengths and weaknesses. Identify the champion's strengths, identify its identity, like I talk about in the Olaf guide, and then go all in on that, learn to perfect that part of the champion. So Duck says, when do you think the Graves guide will be finished? Okay, the Graves guide is taking me a long time because Graves is banned every game. I get it like 1 in every 5 games. It's been very difficult, so I'm thinking of actually doing a Hecarim guard before then, and I'm trying to get Graves in, but Graves is getting permabanned every game, so it's almost impossible for me to like practice the champ and get content on him. So yeah, long way to go, Seal. Absolutely, this is just the beginning. Think about years ahead, think about long-term, big picture stuff. Alright guys, well that's all I'm going to be doing for the show. Again, you guys can come on, join my Discord. Every week I do this around the same time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video or live stream.